Nope, still morning. Good morning. Glad to be here. Nice to be in a room like this full of friendly faces as opposed to in St. Paul. We have 2 weeks left of session, and so you've got 2 weeks until you're completely safe again. But I want to tell you and share with you a little bit of what we're dealing with up in St. Paul this session and give you some ammo as you go out and talk to people about why it's so important that we hold on to our majority in the Minnesota House. As you know, and as Randy said, I'm Kurt Daudt. I'm the Speaker of the House. I took over about 1.5 years ago as Speaker when we won the majority, and we put an end to 2 years of total Democrat control in St. Paul. Thank you. And right now, the House is kind of the firewall. We're the ones who can stop things from happening and try to keep some sanity in St. Paul. I'm proud to say that last session we had a fairly successful session. A couple of major accomplishments. Number one, we stopped every single one of Governor Dayton's major initiatives. Every one of them. That's what it means to have a Republican majority in the Minnesota House. Number two, we passed a state budget and we held spending to the second lowest spending increase in over 50 years. But as you know, Democrats are back at it. We've got about a $900 million surplus this session, and Democrats, of course, want to spend that. Not only do they want to spend it, they want to spend every dime of the $900 million. And then on top of that, they want to raise taxes by $900 million this year, which would be $1.8 billion in the next biennium. So $900 million per year, they want to raise taxes. That's how Democrats think when we have a surplus, okay? Now, our majority in the House, and we're working very closely with the Senate Republicans, we've got a couple of major goals that we want to accomplish yet in this last couple of weeks. Number one, we want to put a significant investment into our road and bridge infrastructure across the state using existing revenue. And number two, this is an easy one. We want to give you your money back. But I want to share with you why it's so important that we have a Republican majority in the Minnesota House. And we know that the Democrats are going to come after us this session. We know that they want that majority back. And I'll tell you what, if they win it, you will not recognize Minnesota after 2 more years of Democrat control. They were actually holding back the last time. They won't make that mistake again. And we can't give them that opportunity. So as we get close to finishing, there's going to be a lot of media, and believe me, the media in St. Paul is on the side of the Democrats. Okay? So we need your help. We need you talking to everybody at work, everybody at church, everybody. You have my permission to stop strangers on the street and talk to them about why this is so important. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples of what Democrats are trying to do in St. Paul. So I said that what we want to do is fund roads and bridges using existing revenue. One of the things that's holding that up is Democrats want more money for transit, and more specifically for trains. Okay? You've heard of Southwest Light Rail? $1.7 billion to take a train from Minneapolis to Eden Prairie. $1.7 billion. Okay? We just got numbers, and I'm going to give you 2 good examples that you can use with people to show the logic behind the way the Democrats think. Okay? We just got numbers on the North Star line. It goes from Minneapolis up to Big Lake. Okay? For every person that rides North Star, you and I subsidize them $22. That's on top of what they spend on their own ticket. Okay? $22. So if somebody rides that train, and it doesn't matter, it's average. So if they ride it from Big Lake or Fridley into Minneapolis, $22. Here's the bad news. Once we get them to work, they got to get home, right? It's another ride. $22 more. $44 per day if somebody commutes 2 directions. Okay? In case you haven't been doing the math really quick in your head, 5 days a week, 4 weeks a month, $900 a month we're subsidizing a person to commute to work and back on North Star. You know what that means? we could lease every person a brand new Mercedes, pay all of their gas, and still have money left over. That's how efficient rail is. That's what you need to talk to people about, because Democrats are going to try to hold hostage your money for roads and bridges in order to get projects like that done. One more example, and I have to admit that this one actually fooled me at first. $3 million is what they're asking for bus rapid transit from St. Paul to Woodbury, okay? 12 miles. And I thought, well, you know, if we have to give on transit and compromise at the end, maybe we could do this, right? $3 million bucks, we can buy some buses, they can run on the shoulders. Oh no, the $3 million is just for the study. And by the way, we already have an express bus that runs on the shoulder from Woodbury into St. Paul every day. The actual cost of the project and what they want to do is they want to put in two new lanes, one in each direction that only the buses could drive on, including on-ramps, off-ramps, bridges, the whole works. $485 million. $485 million for 12 miles on a route that we already have an express bus that runs on the shoulder. Here's the kicker. The express bus that we currently have running on the shoulder will complete the trip 12 minutes faster. That's the kind of logic that Democrats use to pay for funding in these projects in St. Paul. That's what they want the money for, and that's what they want to waste it on. So it's vitally important that we hold on to our majority in the Minnesota House so that we can stop those kinds of things from happening. And I'm going to make you two promises today. Okay? Number one, as long as I'm Speaker of the House, we will not raise a gas tax in Minnesota. Period. And we don't need to. With $900 million of surplus, we have more than enough money to fund our roads and bridges, and more than enough money to give the rest of that back to you and put that money back in your pockets. And my second promise, number two, as long as I'm the Speaker of the House, we will not put a dime of state money into Southwest Light Rail. Period. But this is an interesting election cycle in that we have no statewide races in the state of Minnesota. So we have the presidential race, and then we have the House and the Senate that are both up. Okay, we won the majority in the House 2 years ago. The Senate was not on the ballot at that time, so this is their opportunity. And they have a real opportunity to win the Senate. Okay? But we cannot let the Democrats have this majority back in the Minnesota House. And they will want it bad, and they're going to try to get it. And the reason that it's concerning, and the reason that it's an interesting election cycle with no statewide races, is Democrats can outspend us sometimes 2 to 1. Okay? They get 70% of their money from labor unions. And you know the old saying, right? You tell a lie and have enough money to repeat it often enough, people will believe it. We can't let them. And that's why we need your help. So you need to talk to everybody at church, everybody at school, everybody at work. Make sure they understand how important this election cycle is, and make sure they understand what's at stake. Because if you don't have a majority in the Minnesota House, you're going to end up with projects like Southwest Light Rail. You're going to end up with projects like bus rapid transit to Woodbury. And you're going to end up with $900 million at the least in new taxes. New taxes that we don't need. So we are in St. Paul fighting for you. I want to ask any of the legislators that are here to either step forward or stand up to be recognized. We've got a really good team of legislators. I see Schumacher over there hiding. Give these guys a round of applause. They are going to do battle over the next 2 weeks to make sure that we're protecting you in St. Paul. So give them your support. Work for them in the next election. We've got a lot of opportunities to pick up seats in this district as well. We appreciate, and I want to thank you very sincerely for all the support that you have given us and all the support that you will give us over the next year. And with your help, we absolutely will maintain our majority in the Minnesota House, and we will win the Minnesota Senate. So thank you so much for letting me share a little bit of time with you. Enjoy your convention.
Speaker of the House.